What is going on, y'all? I've got some absolutely sick changes for my boy Kommo-o and Kommo-o. But before I get into explaining my thought process behind, oh, I actually just I cropped out the type change explanation. Whatever, y'all can read it real quick. I'm gonna show it on screen super quick while I talk. And of course I'll talk about it verbally in a second. But yeah, if you're new here, I recommend you pause the video and read the description. I've got a very in-depth Google sheet as well that you can check out when you're done with the video. Don't click off yet because I messed up the watch time, but the description specifically has a bullet point list that'll give you like the background basics of the ROM hack that you might want to know before you even watch this video. And you don't have to click off the video to read that, so definitely give that a read. When you're done with the video, you can also not only check out my other videos, my Discord, all that good stuff, you can also check out my Google Sheet with the move guide specifically. You can scroll through it and it'll go through all of the move categories in order, and you can kind of see, you know, stuff like this, and it's all organized and super useful and important. So yeah, Kommo-o, super cool. Dragon Steel. So as you can read, so I want to have a Pokemon of every type combo, and so in my opinion, Haxorus fits dragon fighting a lot more than Kommo-o. If you read like Haxorus's Pokedex entries, and his whole thing is like fighting and like being a rivalry and being aggressive and just fighting with its other Pokemon all the time. And some people would be like, well, why not make Haxorus Steel because it's got the axe? But like, it's not like he's actually made of metal. It's just, I mean, I guess the axe is like maybe vaguely metal, but not the body armor, you know? Kommo-o, on the other hand, well, not, it also has the color scheme going for it a bit, but not even just the colors. Kommo-o explicitly says that his scales are made of steel. He also has like bulletproof, bulletproof and overcoat in vanilla, right? Like all relating to his scales and the steel nature of him. It's also just a better defensive typing overall. I mean, not objectively because it doesn't resist, you know, it's weak to ground, technically, it's weak to fighting, so it's not like objectively a better defensive typing at all, but it does have more resistances, which is always good. And I just think it fits a lot more. It's always kind of bothered me that Kommo-o was fighting. I think it's like, I would love to give him an ability that gives him stab on fighting, although that's kind of what Instinct does. It just gives him stab on everything. And more. It gives him a 50% boost to attack or special attack if you're using the offensive sets. Yeah, anyway, obviously I get why Kommo-o is fighting type for the record. Like, I understand. I know he's got like the whole war, like the Haka dance, whatever the fuck. I get it, but I just think steel makes a lot more sense. So, yeah, Kommo-o really cool. So he's got multi-scale, which is I don't know why. I mean, I guess for balancing reasons I didn't give it to him normally because of like his broken signature move in vanilla. But man, multi-scale is like a no-brainer ability for him. Very fitting. Instinct is really cool. Again, with the whole fighting type theme going on, like that he's just got like this, he's like howling after finishing off prey, and he's clattering his tail, and he's like a warrior, he's battling valiantly, so all that stuff makes sense for Instinct, and it makes his what looks like relatively meager offensive stats 110, 100, which is good, but you know, not as like crazy as like you might expect it to be for something that looks like this strong. Instinct makes those incredibly powerful, so he's a very potent mixed attacker. You can switch your moveset constantly depending on the boss fight, and you can run any of your coverage moves or physical or special stab moves, of which you have plenty of options to pick from, which I'll cover in a bit. So Instinct is super dope. Multi-scale is obviously great defensively and also for like support or utility, or just a setup if you want to go for that route, like multi-scale plus Clingerous Soul, or multi-scale plus Dragon Dance, or Bulk Up, or Swords Dance. You know, that's all really good, obviously, but it's kind of boring in my opinion. But it's obviously good. And then Bulletproof is insane now. Bulletproof is massively buffed. There are 50 moves. 50 moves. All of these moves that you see on screen right here. Sorry, wait, it saysn't. I lied. This is linking to the wrong thing. Not the wrong thing, but just these moves are only Mega Launcher boosted, not Bulletproof. It's all in big red text, but yeah, these are all of the Bulletproof moves. So tons and tons of moves you're immune to. All sorts of, you know, fire moves, fighting moves, ground moves, dragon moves, fairy moves, you know, stuff like that, and the Shadow Ball, all this. Literally 50 plus moves, man. A lot of moves, okay? A lot of special moves you're completely immune to. So Bulletproof is very broken, which is why I'm relatively selective with what I give it to, and I don't know, I let him keep it because it's cool. So yeah, great immunity ability, great defensive ability with multi-scale, great offensive ability with Instinct. Very good combo. You can switch between the three at any point in the game. Every single boss fight you can run a different set: physical, multi-scale, special, Instinct, bulky, bulletproof, whatever it may be. So that's all really good. Kommo-o is also, you know, strong, 55-55 offensive seem mid, but when you consider the Instinct giving you +1, you're very strong. You're like over base 100 equivalent, I believe, or base 90 equivalent. but the +1. And then Kommo-o is very strong physically, and it can also technically do some mixed stuff, but 60 special attack with +1 isn't bad. It's definitely like solid usable, but obviously you're going to be trying to get the physical attack boost most of the time with Kommo-o. I like Kommo-o's design. Honestly, I kind of like him more than Kommo-o in some ways. I think he's a lot more like streamlined and like cool looking. So also I think he makes sense to be faster. So another reason I made Kommo-o's speed only 75, quote-unquote only, is partially to balance out Choice Scarf a bit more, and Choice Scarf Instinct, multi-scale Dragon Dance, stuff like that, because it is very strong. For example, like Clangor of Soul, Throat Spray is very strong, but you only can stay in for a certain amount of turns after that before you have to switch out or tank the sleep. So kind of like how Jackpot, which is another Omni boosting move for stuff like Persian and Golden Go, kind of like how that gives you the Parasong effect, this gives you the Drowsy effect. So it's actually longer lasting than normal drowsiness, so you have more turns to actually use it. The flavor here is that they're doing like a crazy energetic like war dance, and then they get tired, they get drowsy from it. So you're getting all your stat boost, and you lose a little bit of HP, which isn't really a big deal, although you do lose multi-scale, so you have to keep that in mind, which is also a good balancing thing. But yeah, mostly it's just the fact that I don't want you to be able to like steamroll 1v6 teams with Clangor of Soul. I want you to at least like try a little bit. Although I will say, Dragon Dance, I mean, the good thing with Clangor of Soul is mostly for special attacking boosting sets, because yeah, the defense boost is cool and it can be useful, but you have to switch out unless you want to run like a defensive Lumberry Clangor of Soul. I don't know, you're kind of losing the plot at that point. You know, main thing is just for special sets, because you have Throat Spray, so you get +2, +1. With Dragon Dance, there's no drawback. I mean, it's minus priority, but there's no actual drawback. You don't become drowsy. So if you're running just for attack and speed boost, you can use Dragon Dance instead. Otherwise, Clangor of Soul is for special, +2 special attack, +1 speed. And +1 speed with base 75 seems mid, but in an in-game context, it's more than fast enough to outspeed the vast majority. No, not the vast majority, but a lot of the game. So if you get a neutral speed nature Kommo-o, you're outspeeding base 150, base 110 Pokemon. Base 112, actually, yeah. Base 112 and above, and below, excuse me, is what you're outspeeding. You also have reliable recovery in the form of Molt, other good defensive options like Metal Sound, which drops special attack and special defense from -2. You've got Leer and Screech early on. You've got Roar, you've got Battle Cry, which is great. Battle Cry drops attack and special attack by -2. That's really good with multi-scale or with Bulletproof to just kind of neuter some things. Instinct plus like big nuke moves like Jerko Meteor, Draconic Beam, Dragon Hammer are all really good. Draconic Beam and Dragon Hammer are recoil moves. Dragon Rush and Dragon Pulse are both 100% accurate, 100 power, no drawback. Breaking Swipe is good for debuffing stuff. It's also just good stab early on. Arcane Fangs is really cool. That heals you by half HP. That's really cool with multi-scale, specifically Arcane Fangs plus multi-scale is really neat because you can just 1v1 things by for example, Big Root Arcane Fang specifically is really dope on Kommo-o with Kommo-o, or you could do like a Violite Arcane Fangs on Kommo-o with multi-scale. Either way, it's really good because you're healing off, it's 85 power, and you're healing off half the damage you take from half the damage you deal with Arcane Fangs, and then you can get your multi-scale back, so that's fun. I would say Big Root is a really cool way to use that though, with Kommo-o. And yeah, Instinct is good for like Scarf killing things, or like Quick Claw, or like Specs or Band, or just offensive stuff, right? You could even do Instinct plus Setup, that was the thing, because sometimes the Clangor of Soul you're not going to need. For example, if you run Instinct, you got +1 special attack, you run Throat Spray, and Clangor of Soul, now you're +3 special attack, so that's why I made it so you have to be drowsy. So you either have to hold a Lunberry, or you have to switch out. The thing is, unlike Jackpot, you aren't fucking dead if you fall asleep, right? You just fall asleep. So you can get your 3 kills or whatever, ideally. I mean, get 3 kills if you position correctly and you have the switch in AI understood, and you understand that you're not going to be forced out by a Quick Claw or a Focus Sash or something. If you have all that down pat and you have it positioned to get 3 kills, then you get your 3 kills and you fall asleep and then you switch out. It's not a big deal, Unlike with Jackpot, you actually have to switch out even earlier, which is why I made it last for 4 turns. So either way, you're getting 3 full turns. But you see my point here is that you're never going to die from Clangor of Soul unless you're like being very reckless with using it. So yeah, careful planning goes into that move, but it's definitely very fun. Scarf Dragon Energy is a fucking brain. Honestly, I should probably swap that at Draconic Voice low key, because in my head it's like, oh, well, Draconic Voice gives you Throat Spray, but so does Clangor of Soul. I don't know, you know what I mean? And you can't do Scarf Draconic Voice Throat Spray, so I will swap these because yeah, Dragon Energy Scarf Instinct is incredibly strong. That's like vanilla Regidrago levels of power. Regidrago is stronger now, but yeah, that's literally as strong as vanilla Regidrago's Dragon Energy with +1 from Instinct. Of course, you have to keep in mind you're never going to guaranteed get the boost you want. Well, you are, but you have to make sure you're switching it on the right Pokemon to get the right boost. You have to plan accordingly. You can't just switch in willy-nilly and try to get the right boost. You have to plan when you're switching in. Let me just fix the move order here. Come on. Sorry guys, give me 2 seconds. Just put this here, level 60. Put this here, level 65. There we go. Okay, so yeah, Dragon Energy Scarf, very, very good. Anything with, 112 or below, you're just going to blow up with Instinct Dragon Energy. That's really fun for late game. Steel Beam's good, all types of fun options. Steel stab-wise, you've got 100 power, 100 accuracy Iron Tail. You've got Flash Cannon for 90 power. You've got Bullet Punch. Bullet Punch is really good with more... Bullet Punch is good in general, right? Instinct Bullet Punch, that's just a strong move. Specifically, though, late game, you get Belly Drum, so you could do, like, multi-scale Belly Drum Bullet Punch, which is pretty great. Because you can, like, run a berry and then heal, and, you can take a hit, whatever. So that's all fun. Or I would say Bulletproof is where it becomes really broken, because the AI is... Yeah, actually, I would personally not. I would say... Don't use Bulletproof to set up. That's like the honor code. If you want to, and you want to beat Lame and Chiefs the fucking game, and sit there while they spam Aura Sphere, and then you click Dragon Dance twice, and then you're good, go ahead and do it, but I highly discourage it. But yeah, Belly Drum can do the same thing. You can get a free Belly Drum with Bulletproof. But that is better. I would say 1 free turn with Bulletproof maybe is fair. But if you're getting more than 1 free turn with that, it's like kind of cheesy. So yeah, thanks for listening. If you made it to the end, I do appreciate it. Make sure you drop a comment if you did make it to the end, y'all, and I'll be back for more coming up.